Well, this is a bit of a diversion, this. Quite a while ago, bigclivedotcom did a review of these e-cigarettes that you could get in Poundland and places like that. And I bought one with the intention of having a look to see if it had a potentially rechargeable battery inside it. Never got round to looking at it, so I've just pulled it out of my box here. And we'll take it apart and just have a look, see if it does have a rechargeable battery in it. Well, if it has, it's going to be a bit longer than we want, if that's what that cell is. See if I can push that through. No, that doesn't want to push through. I expect if I pull that, that'll break the wires. I'll have to force it. And that'll be the heater element in there. Yeah, it's just a few wires wrapped round. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. It's just some wires wrapped around this little bit that goes through the middle. So that's what heats up. That's dropping away pretty rapidly. But it started off. 3.7, which would be the same as a little LiPo, wouldn't it? It says it lights up when you inhale or suck through the straw, in effect. Now, the only thing that can switch it on and off is this little lump at the end here, and I'm guessing that that's pressure sensitive in some way or other, and if I squeeze it then you might see that little LED comes on briefly. And if I get it just right, you might even see a little bit of steam rise off the wires there. Yeah, there's definitely some coming up. So, complete sidetrack from what I had planned to do. But interesting. So there's some sort of pressure sensor in there that lights up that little LED. And allows current to flow through that wire on that sort of wick there that soaks up the fluid, and then the wire heats it up and turns it into vapour. So I'm going to desolder that, put a connector on it and plug it into that electric motor that I've got a connector on already, just to see how long it runs for, and then see if we can recharge it. So I've got my soldering iron ready. Oh, before I disconnect the other side, I'll solder the new ones on so I know which one's positive and negative. Doesn't make any difference as far as running the motor goes, but it does make a difference when you're trying to recharge it. Right, so that's our battery with a connector lead on it. Oh yes, that's working. I'll just rig that up. I suppose I could put something on the end of it so we can see it's turning. Right, there we are, a pretend propeller. Could do with a stopwatch to do this, but I'll plug it in by the clock. Yeah, it's got some power to it. Because I've got no way of checking whether I'm over discharging this. There's no control circuit involved. That's been running for a minute. I don't remember what that motor came from. It's not getting hot. The motor's not getting hot. That's is that 2 or 3 minutes? I've lost track. Motor, you can hear the note. It's dropping, slowing down. Well, that's still going. It's slowed down quite a bit. There's still plenty of torque there. And that's about 6 minutes. Battery's not heated up. Motor's not heated up. So what I'm going to do now is I've got these little LiPo charger boards. Put some connectors on here so we can actually charge the battery through this little charger board. And this board actually has a protection circuit on it as well. So we need a couple more of these. This one you'd normally leave permanently wired up to your battery. You wouldn't normally have a connector plug on it, but I'm going to put a connector plug on it for the purpose of this exercise. because we're going to charge it. That's just about it, isn't it? So, battery plus, battery minus. We'll feed these through from the back and solder them in place. So that's our charger board wired up. So I should be able to plug that into there. USB lead. So that should be charging. There is a resistor on there that you're supposed to change depending on how much current you want flowing through. I'm pretty sure it's that one just there, which is R3. But I'm just going to let it run for now. I've got a metal bucket to hand to throw that in if it should happen to burst into flames. I did mention that's got a protection circuit on it, but that's irrelevant from this point of view, because that's to protect you over discharging the battery, and that'll only work if it's in circuit, and I'm not going to have this in circuit when I'm using it. Looks like it's just about charged. It's flicking from the red light to the blue light. It's not heating up. The wires aren't getting hot. None of the chips are getting hot. Gives the impression it's not entirely happy that it's finished the charging. Let's unplug it and see. See what we've got. Well, it's certainly taken charge. So it looks like we've got a little rechargeable LiPo. What I'm going to do now is put the other connector onto the out terminals so that I can actually run that LiPo through the protection circuit, which will be fine if we're going to put it on a boat or a car or something, but I don't really want the extra weight if we're thinking of using it on an aeroplane. So now we can make use of the protection circuit that's in there. So the battery is the middle tags. It then goes through whichever of those chips is the protection circuit, comes out on that lead. So plug the battery in and plug the motor in. And that should protect the battery from over discharge. Job done.